ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 22. वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. So Krishna is continuing with his Sankhya philosophy. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Vasa means suvasa, isn't it? Vamshivadana suvasa. That is not suvasana. That is suvasa. Nice clothes. Clothes are worn. Very beautiful clothes are worn. So vasam jirnani yatha vihaya. That kind of vasa, and they are jirna. Navani grihnati naroparani. Navani grihnati. The new living entity will accept, the body will accept new garments. Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani. So after that, sharirani vihaya jirnani. This body, when they're digested, jirna. Anyani samyati navani dehi. Dehi means one of the embodied living entity. He will take the new set of clothes, that is body. Other person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones. The soul similarly accepts new body, metal bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Okay, as a man gives up old clothes, accepts new ones, so the soul gives up the old bodies and retains new ones. Same translation. Into the purport. Important purport 222, very, very famous verse. Change of the body by the atomic individual soul is accepted fact, is an accepted fact. Even the modern scientists who do not believe in the existence of the soul, but at the same time cannot explain the source of energy from the heart, have to accept continuous changes of the body which appear from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and again from youth to old age. From old age, the change transferred to another body, which has been already explained 213. The transference of the atomic individual soul to another body is made possible by the grace of the super soul. The super soul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul as one fulfills the desire for another, of another. So, we already saw many times it's quoted now. Nitya nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yovidadhati kama. So, one friend fulfills the desire of another, like that. Whereas, like the Mundaka Upanishad, as well as Seta Upanishad compare the soul to the super soul, to two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the birds, individual's atomic soul, is eating the fruit of the tree. The other bird is simply watching his friend. Of course, of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits. One is captivated by the fruits of the middle tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is a witnessing bird, and Arjuna is a eating bird. Although they are friends, one still the master, the other is servant. Forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is the cause of one's changing his position from one tree to another, or from one body to another. The jiva, soul, is struggling very hard on the tree of the middle body, but as soon as he agrees to accept the other bird as a supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to do by voluntary surrender to Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all limitation. Both the Mundaka Upanishad and Shweta Upanishad confirms this. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno anishaya sochati muhyamanah jushtam yada pashyati anyamisham asya mahinanam iti vita shokah. with a shokaha. Although the two birds are the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness. Meghna Prabhu is scribbling. Huh? Okay.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No issue. I disable, don't worry. But if in the same, some way or the other, he turns his face to his friend, who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. Arjuna has now turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna, his understanding of Gita from him. And thus, hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of the Lord and be free from lamentation. So, how many of you raise hands? How many of you experience though it is difficult to follow sometimes, still we make some endeavor to follow the instructions of the superior, to follow instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then actually we experience joy in our heart. How many of you experience this? Okay. Santosh, you never experienced? Yes. So one is only need to agree to the instructions of the super soul. Then what will happen? Immediately all the miseries are gone. Actually, all the miseries are gone. Only we need to accept, that's all. So we need to have faith to accept the instruction. So Krishna, Supreme Master, one is the maker of all our bodies, one is actually the maintainer of all of us. Arjuna is advised here by the Lord not to lament for the bodily change of his older grandfather and his teacher. He should rather be happy to kill their bodies in the righteous fight, so that they may be cleansed at once of all the reactions from various bodily activities. One who lays down his life on the sacrificial altar in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reactions and promoted to a higher status of life. So there is no cause for Arjuna's lamentation. So in our case, Arjuna is very, very difficult situation. What is the difficult situation? His own grandfather, who has given so much love for him, he has to kill him. And his own teacher, one who has made him the best of the archer, giving him all the secrets in spite of his son being next to him. He did not give so many weapons to his son, but he has given all the weaponry only to Arjuna. And in turn, Arjuna is doing what? To kill him. So we are very, very fortunate. We are not in that situation to kill one another or kill our own men, like father, mother. But only thing is, our practice on Krishna consciousness may cause little pain to them, little pain, which is insignificant compared to the reactions that are going to come from for their material activities, which is insignificant. If we agree to follow our Krishna consciousness, not intentionally want to pain anyone, but to just agree to follow the Krishna consciousness process nicely, it may cause a little pain. That pain will become the cause for the purification of their hearts. So we need not to take so much anxiety. We don't want to cause this pain unnecessarily, but for dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is to establish our own constitutional position. We have to establish ourselves in our own constitutional position as a devotee of the Lord, the servant of Srila Prabhupada and spiritual master. To establish that, we may give a little pain. We are not killing them. We are not leaving them. We are not doing anything. So if we just agree to do that, so those who don't have any past sinful activities, they will not accept and they will not have any problem at all. If at all they have huge amounts of burden of their sinful reactions, little pain it may cause, and Krishna may take away all their burden. Are we ready to do that? Like Arjuna, understanding we are not his body, we are spirit soul. This body is only temporary material engagement for the spirit soul. So if we are trying to do that and follow the process given properly, and just to ourselves to guard our own Krishna consciousness, which is a lot of energy and time invested by the movement. So then we'll be saved. And they will also be saved eventually. How many of you are ready for that? This immediately hands don't raise up. Yes. Yes, we need to be agreeing to the instruction of spiritual master Krishna in order to One. Yes. Meghnath Prabhu, please read up. What you're going to read is the dialogue, huh?
Yes, bro. But my fighting.
Yes.
So, but by my fighting, a Jiva will give up the body, known as Bhishma. Then you and I will be the cause of that. What fault is there in a person giving up old worn cloth to put on new cloth? In a similar way, Bhishma will give up an old body and attain a new divine body. What fault is there for me or you in that?
So this is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So here also another dialogue is going to come. See. Yeah, read ahead.
The soul may be indestructible, but with the destruction through war of those bodies known as Bhishma and others which gave them happiness, we will deprive them of their happiness. This is the sin. If it were not so, then scriptures prescribing atonements for such killing would be useless. The answer to this objection is given in this verse. Just as giving up old worn clothing and putting on a new clothing gives happiness, giving up an old human body and accepting a new Devata body certainly gives great happiness to the soul. The war will enable both the giving up and accepting to happen more quickly. Therefore, because the war assists this, do not abandon fighting. The word samyati means directly attain, indicates that one will very quickly attain that body without even undergoing the pains of staying in the womb and other inconveniences. The prescriptions for atonement are applicable to killing persons other than during conditions of war or sacrifice.
So in general, this killing is not prescribed, but it is a war which is ordained by the Supreme Lord himself. So there is no problem in that. And they will surely get a heavenly body, if not the spiritual body itself, for people like Bhishma. So no cause for lamentation at all. So this is Dharma Yuddha. So we are also undergoing a struggle in our own heart, right? Between following four regulated principles and doing adharma, which is from within our own heart. So oozing out, so many desires are coming out, so many things, so many obstacles, which for the devotion service kind of thing, they're coming up. But if we simply fight as a dharma, for dharma, to establish the soul in the constitutional position, that is what dharma. So in that, if it is causing a little bit pain here and there, the pain is for the external metal body, or the pain may be for little mind. So mind will keep on giving anyway problems, right? Is it that we do not become devotees, then the pain will not come to their minds? Oh, enormous pain may come, enormous. But now it has become a token pain for anybody. So this Dharma Yuddha need to be performed properly without getting affected by, yes, Sangro. Have a question? Sangro has a question? Okay. Jump. Hare Krishna. Okay. Then we are going actually next verse. 223. Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavakaha, Nachainam Kledayantyapo, Naso Shayati Marutaha. So again, he's saying indestructible nature of the soul, he's speaking. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, but not burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. Weapons do not cut the soul. Fire does not burn it. Water does not wet it. The wind does not dry it. Weapons do not cut the soul. The fire weapon does not burn it. The water weapon does not wet it. The wind weapon does not dry it. So basically, it is not material at all. It is spiritual. Soul is Satchidananda. All kinds of weapons, swords, flame weapons, rain weapons, tornado weapons, etc., are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there are many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, ether, etc. In addition to the modern weapons of fire, even nuclear weapons of the modern age are classified as fire weapons. But formerly, there were weapons made of different types of metal elements. Firearms were counteracted by water weapons, which are now known as unknown to modern science. Nor do modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. Nonetheless, the soul can never be cut to pieces nor annihilated by any number of weapons, regardless of the scientific devices. Okay, the Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and by consequently became covered by the illusory energy. Nor was it possible to cut the individual souls from the original supreme soul. Rather, the individual souls are eternally separated parts and parts of supreme soul. Because they are atomic individual souls, eternally Sanatan, they are prone to be covered by the illusory energy. And thus, they become separated from the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of fire, although one in quality of the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire. In the Varaha Purana, the living entities are described as separate parts and parts of the Supreme. They are eternally so, and according to Bhagavad Gita also. So, even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate entity, as is evident from the teachings of Lord to Arjuna. Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna. He never became one with Krishna. So it's very important. It's a natural refutation of Mayavad, natural flavor of Prabhupada. Nainam Chindandi Shastra, Nainam Dasi Pavaka, Nachainam Klediyam Japa. Basically, soul cannot be cut into pieces. So how come from the Brahman the souls have emerged and go and back and merge into Brahman? How does it happen? Because soul cannot be cut into pieces by any weapon. And which weapon has cut in the beginning for us to come to this material world? So there's no weapon. It cannot happen. It's only Prabhupada used to say, is only the dirt is nowhere else except in the heads of the Mayavadis. And also there's no Shunya anywhere except in the heads of Shunyavadis. Prabhupada used to tell like that. So it's very, very clear that soul cannot be cut into pieces. Yes, Nikhil Prabhu, read it. No, Nikhil Prabhu is not here. Santosh Prabhu, read it.
Also, it is not possible to injure the soul at all by the weapons used by you in the battle. That is explained in this verse. Weapons such as swords cannot cut it. The fire weapon cannot burn it. The rain weapon cannot wet it. Nor can the wind weapon dry it out. But just as the house dweller is destroyed when his house is burnt, when the body is destroyed by the blow of weapons, the soul should also be destroyed. Swords, Shastrani cannot cut it. The fire weapon cannot burn it. The rain weapon cannot wet it. The wind weapon cannot dry it. Accordingly, the Atma is not disturbed at all by being exposed to all these types of weapons, either those used for striking or those that are thrown.
We call Astra and Shastra. Shastra is strike. Shastra means sword. Sword will strike. And Shastra means Shastra means striking. Astra means throwing. Like Brahmastra is thrown, and whereas Khadgastra is Shastra. Khadga is a Shastra that is hit, like Gada, Khadga, like this all. Anyway, so previous verse, Krishna is telling that Vasam Sajirnani Yata Vihaya. So because when the bodies are becoming old, then the bodies they may change. So he's telling, but my God, we are killing it by arrow, killing the body by arrow. Then soul will also be harmed. That question Arjuna may have. So Krishna is clarifying here, isn't it? Don't worry. As the house is burnt on fire, then inside person is also burnt, right? Live. But Krishna is giving assurance. No. It doesn't happen like that. How does it happen? The fire burnt. Actually, the Atma cannot be burnt. So Atma cannot. Nainam Chindandi Shastrani. Shastrani, by Shastra you cannot chinda. Chinda means cannot make into pieces. So that's what he's saying. So okay, we covered 2 verses. Maybe this is a time for all of you to go back and join your class or work. Are there any questions? This is a very regular, what do we call it as? Actually, we'll see tomorrow. Maybe I'll present which all arguments are given for which all arguments which Arjuna gave. So this argument is meant for, oh, we are causing harm for them. So no harm. Soul cannot be harmed. That's what Arjuna is told by Krishna. Okay? And we'll see tomorrow. We'll continue. Thank you very much for abstaining. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samyata Gaur Bhakti ki jai, Lord Premanande Hari Bol. Yeah, now it's joined. Thank you for Nikhil Prabhu joining. Hare Krishna.